Happy Sabbath, my brothers and sisters in the Lord. I am Melvin Parker, the pastor of the Bartons district of Seventh-day Adventist churches, and this is my story. I was born in the beautiful parish of St. Catherine. I grew up in a little Nazareth community named Augustown, right there in Bogwalk. As a young man growing up, I lived with my mom, dad, and my 3 siblings. We came from a very humble background. But one thing I do appreciate is that my mom always sends me to church. And so while I was going to church, that's Augustown SDA Church, at the age of 12, I was baptized. And on that night when I got baptized, I felt so excited. I felt as if Jesus were to come at that time, I would have been saved. But then as I continue through my Christian journey, I recognize it's not easy. It's very challenging, especially going through high school with the peer pressure, with bad influences. Sometimes I wonder if I can still make it. But blessed be to God, I kept my eyes focused on Jesus. And I'm so happy because when you are active at my home church at Augustown SDA, I was very much active. So as a result, I was able to stay focused. So activeness in church keeps you in the church and makes you become strong despite the odds, despite the bad influence. And so when I completed high school, I said to myself, what is next? And growing up in such a community, I always say to myself, I wanted to be a soldier or a police officer. And so I went and I did the ISCF test, that was the Blue Seal Police. I did it about 3 times. Each time I did it, I failed, miserable failed. And I was so upset, I was feeling angry. I was saying, what is this? Why nothing is coming through for me? Maybe God must have turned his back on me. That's how I felt. But my first elder, Orlando Griffiths, he's still the first elder at Augustown. He kept encouraging me. And he said, whatever God wants for your life, he will lead you to that specific goal. And I continued and I said, you know what? Let me try the military. And so I went to the JDF and did the test. And I also failed miserable. And I did not know what to do. I was very much upset. I was feeling disappointed. I never wanted to speak to anyone. And so my first elder, he kept praying for me and encouraging me. And so finally, someone said to me, you have been preaching from the age of 14, and now that you are almost 18, I believe that the Lord wants for you to become a pastor. And I said to myself, really? I becoming a pastor? I don't really see myself becoming a pastor. And then I started to contemplate on what they have said. And the more I contemplated is the more the reality struck. And I said to myself, well, I believe this is what the Lord wants for me to do. And so I sent my application to NCU. I was accepted and I was enrolled. But I must let you know the journey wasn't an easy one. In fact, I did not even have my tuition for first semester. I had to resort to SLB, but praise be to God, as a result of being focused and utilizing SLB, I was able to complete my studies. When I was in my 3rd year, I felt like I wanted to give up, like I didn't want to continue with ministry. But I'm so happy that my brothers and sisters were praying for me. My elders were praying for me. And as a result, I managed to complete my studies. And then, when I reached the final year, there was a specific task for me to complete. And that was what we call language and content examination or oral examination. That is a time when, if you decide to study to become a pastor, all the conference presidents from all the conferences in the Jamaica Union, all the professors at NCU, and different persons of English department, they would come and they would form a big panel, and they will throw questions from left, right, and center, everything that you would have studied from first year to final year. And I remember that time when I went into that room, I felt so nervous, but I was well prepared because I said to myself, Lord, I had studied for 4 years and I will not stop here. I want to complete. And so I went, and for the first time, I met a gentleman by the name of Pastor Daniel Pink. He was the ministerial secretary of Central Jamaica Conference. In fact, he is still the ministerial secretary. And so when I completed the questions that I was asked, I answered them, in my opinion, very good, because I studied hard. I was well prepared. And when that interview was finished, he came to me, that's the ministerial secretary, and he said, young man, there is something about you. I want for you to take my number and give me your number. And so we made a connection. And I must let you know that was 3 months before my graduation. And in that interview, I was assured of a job before I was even graduated. And so I said to myself, Lord, I can see clearly now that you really had a plan for me in this regard. And so the gentleman, the pastor, he kept his word. When I finished, I contacted him, and then I transitioned into the conference. Started out in my own district, my hometown district, Bagwalk. Can you imagine? It was such a delight for me to be pastor in my home church, the district in which I was born and I grew up. And so after that, I spent about 4 months being an intern, and then I continued at 10 City as an intern, and blessed be to God, I was then voted to be a district pastor, of which I'm currently serving. That is the Bartons district. I must say to you that it was only because of the grace of God. It was only because of my commitment, my focus, my faithfulness, why God had allowed for me to be successful. And I know that I will continue to be successful by His grace. I must let you know that the Lord has blessed me with a lovely family. My wife, Sanya, and our beautiful and handsome son, Nathaniel. The Lord has also blessed us with a nice transportation so that we can move to and from. So when you do the Lord's will, He takes care of your bill. And I must let you know that I have an insatiable thirst for knowledge. And so it is my desire to very soon to move into my master's degree and then into my dissertation or PhD. That is what the Lord wants for me to do, and I will study to the highest point. So this is my story that I want to share with you, to let you know that there will be challenges in life, there will be difficulties, but anything you want to accomplish, just be focused, pray, talk to God, ask for His input, and move forward in faith. Be optimistic always and do your part. Only when you do your part, the Lord will do the rest. Thank you so much for listening, and may the Lord bless you richly. I thank you.